Hello, thank you for having us here. So our project was about the similarities between candidates in US elections.
As all the candidates walked out on stage, one thing became immediately clear. There are still way too many candidates.
Yeah, so why US elections? Well, United States has a lot of open data on the elections, and also this season, 2016, was a very famous one because you had a lot of different candidates from Republican Party. You had Trump, which is quite famous on himself. Yeah. And also you had anti-establishment candidates in Democratic Party. So, with this amount of candidates, if one drops out of the race, who do you choose instead? So, presumably you would choose a candidate who is similar in some way to your previous one. So, he has a similar policy on gay rights, on immigration, or something like this. Actually, a lot of funding in US elections comes from people. So, people donate money to campaigns of their loved candidates. And all donations that are higher in sum than $2,000, or $200, sorry, must be disclosed to Election Council. So they disclose name, work, occupation, and so on. So do you give your money to the candidate with the most similar position to your old one, or do you just randomly see whatever? In order to process that data from Election Council, we had to do cleaning, we had to do name disambiguation, because a lot of guys put Mr. Alongside their names on one day and don't put it on another day. I don't know why. Also, to clarify their positions, we had to do a lot of data analytics. So we actually read their programs. Thanks, Yulia, for that. Yeah, it was tedious work, and we identified their positions on principal topics on the scale of 0 to 5, from Democratic to Liberal, or to Republican, sorry. Okay, so one of the main concepts in our work was funding swap. So when an individual who donated to one candidate then donates to another, then in a sense the second candidate is taking money from the first one. So, results of our work. On the top left side you can see the election map for 2012 election, Obama versus Romney. Blue states are Democratic ones and red ones are Republicans. And on the top, on the left side, on the down, you can see actual donations in 2016 elections. And if the state is more blue, it is more Democratic. So for example, we can see that, I don't know, that Michigan flipped from being Democratic to being Republican. Well, actually, if you look at the data, you can see that one of Republican candidates, John Kasich, is from Michigan, so we can easily explain that. Also, if you look by occupation of people who donate to different candidates, you can see that old people tend to vote Republican, and university employees tend to vote overwhelmingly Democratic, and no one gives money to Trump. Yeah. He's quite rich by himself. Yeah. So this is the actual network of who is taking money from whom. So the size of the circle denotes the total count of donations that this candidate received from people who previously donated to another candidate. Here we can see that Hillary pretty much takes money from everyone. Yeah. And also there's a huge bunch of so-called establishment candidates who are in line with their parties, so people who want like stability vote for them. And also no one gives money to Trump, so he's quite unhappy. On the left-hand side, you can see the map when people who supported Republican candidates give money then to Democrats. So we can see that the size of the circle denotes the total count of donations, and the width of the line denotes amount of donation in US dollars. So you can see that Hillary actually takes quite a lot of large donations, and Bernie Sanders takes quite a lot of small ones. On the right-hand side, you can see flips inside the Republican Party himself, because the Republican Party had a lot of different guys running for US presidency. So we can see a lot of guys flip in between so-called establishment candidates, and Trump is quite peripheral over here. So he's not a major player in this game, but he still won. Republican nomination, not the presidency race. Carefully. Here we have on the left-hand side the graph which denotes on the x-axis the policy difference between candidates, which was measured by us, like by hand, and on the y-axis the count of people who switched from one candidate to another who were quite similar. So for example, we can see that if candidates are similar, the people are obviously more likely to switch to them. On the right-hand side, the same graph, but with amount of money instead of count of donations. So we still can see that if candidates are similar, you are likely to donate to them both. But we also see that some people actually donate to candidates with quite different positions. So for example, we saw a lot of people donating from Trump to Sanders, like they don't like anyone. So, in conclusions, Donald Trump is very peripheral to the network. Few voters switched their funding to him as the primary field narrowed. And Clinton is establishment not only in the sense of her policies, but also in the sense that voters who wanted stability, who wanted confidence, tend to give money to her. We can extend this work to 2012 campaign, which was quite different from this one. And also it would be interesting to see time dimension of money swaps when certain events happened. Thank you all, thank you for our team, and thank you for our supervisor.